Hello everyone, my name is Arindam and in this video I'll be showing you all 127 colors in ARK Ascended applied on text structures. Now this video is part of my painting reference guide mini series in which I am covering how the different colors in ARK look like when they are applied to the various structures like thatch, wood, adobe, stone, greenhouse, metal and finally tech, and this is part 7 and probably the last video of this series. I hope you enjoy it because this video is going to be helpful to all of you PvE players as well as creators. So without further ado, let's start. Now I have crafted 127 spray paints which I would be doing anyway because I really love colors, and I have painted them with all the different dyes. Now these are all the 127 dyes. I have neatly arranged them into 14 different color families, with each color family having 9 colors, with 2 color family having 1 extra color and 1 color family having 1 less color. I have disabled bloom for this particular video because unlike ARK Survival Evolved, the ARK Ascended version of TEK are very shiny and very similar to how the metal structures look like. So, and I have also arranged them from left to right in the order of Vibgyor, which is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So starting off with the first family of blue, which is cetacean. So let me turn on ghost, and by the way I have also made sure that the time is currently frozen at 11 o'clock in the morning so that we get the maximum visibility and maximum vibrance without any shadow or weird weather pattern. And for the moment I have kept the volumetric cloud enabled so that it does not so its effects can actually be seen on the tech walls. Anyway, so let's start. So starting off with the first family of blue, we have cetacean, Prussian, sapphire, azure. Let me go a bit further back so you can also get a comparison of how it looks like with the corresponding color from one below and one above the immediate family and its corresponding color on the other family. Azure, baby blue, cornflower, overcast, moonstone, and finally marine. By the way, these colors are arranged in a sorted order from darkest at the bottom to deepest, most vibrant, then the lightest, and finally the exceptions. Next we come to the next variety of blues, starting with midnight, navy, cobalt, blue, ice, frost, denim, deep freeze, and finally haze. The next family of colors is what I would call the blue greens, starting with Mariana, Skobelov, ocean, teal, stream, crystal, celeste, electricity, and finally cyan. Next we come to the family of grey. We have 10 shades of grey, starting with black, shadow, charcoal, gunmetal, slate, steel, grey, silver, wisp, and finally white. When I turn on bloom, these whiter shades will be very bright. So which we're going to come to that anyway. So once I cover all the colors, I'll be turning off bloom. I'll be also disabling the volumetric cloud, and then you will see how they look like with those settings turned on and off anyway. So next we come to the 3 shades of green, starting with swamp, avocado, orc, chartreuse, menthol, nyanza, putrescence, craggy dew, and finally filth. Next we come to the second variety of green, starting with jungle, forest, lagoon, spring, aquamarine, sea foam, turquoise, shamrock, and finally we see TEK without any color. How it looks like, kind of looks like a variety of, kind of looks very similar to wisp actually. Next we come to the third variety of green, starting with nori, hunter, grass, emerald, green, mint, pistachio, celadon, and chateau. So these were the three different families of green. They are very similar to each other with only slight differences. Some of these differences are more apparent if you were looking at thatch or an adobe structure where the colors are more pronounced. Here on the metallic sheen, it's very difficult to spot some of the subtle differences. And by the way, I am playing at 4K with maximum settings, as you can see. So everything is turned on. Anyway, next we come to the family of browns. Yes, these are family of browns. They appear orange, but they are actually browns. So starting with mud, bark, brown, leather, camel, tan, sand, parchment, and finally cream. So you can see, if you have seen my video for metal, these TEK structures have a very metallic sheen. They are actually very similar to my metal ones. Unfortunately, this is something that has happened in ARK Ascended. In ARK Survival Evolved, these TEK structures used to have a very different type of color palette that was more akin to a gloss or a satin sheen instead of the metallic hue that is present in the metallic structures. Next we have the families of yellow, starting with drab, olive, citron, yellow, mustard, canary, buttermilk, khaki, and finally mold. Next we have the family of oranges, starting with bronze, terracotta, Windsor, orange, tangerine, gold, cantaloupe, peach, latte, and finally tart. Next we come to the family of reds, starting with burn, scab, gore, red, tulip, salmon, incense, idocha, and finally brick. The next family of colors is what I would call the family of reddish pinks, starting with raisin, Tyrian, lust, fuchsia, flamingo, valentine, bubblegum, Kobe, and lastly rouge. We come to the second last family, which is the family of pinks and purples, starting with eggplant, plum, purple, bruise, magenta, pink, orchid, cotton candy, and lastly thistle. Now we come to the last family, which is the family of violets, starting with twilight, eminence, indigo, violet, lilac, lavender, mauve, royalty, and lastly dusk. So these were all the 127 colors, and by the way, these were the things that I did for the other video. The one that you can see over there, that is the metal one. So these were the 127 colors as it appears from the front. Let me do one thing. Let me turn off volumetric fog. Let me also turn off volumetric cloud. So as you can see, they look much more clearer now. The next thing let me do is, let me turn on bloom, just to give you a visual idea how it looks like. Now this is something, look at the reflections of some of the colors, especially the lighter shades like the whites. So the reflective properties of TEK were different than metal in ARK Survival Evolved. So TEK actually looked really nice even with bloom turned on. Unfortunately, in ARK Ascended, wildcard has made TEK and metal having the exact same kind of luster, which kind of takes away from the beauty of TEK, to be honest. So now let me go into the other side and let you see how it looks like from the back and with the shadow. So this is how it looks like from the back with shadows. It still looks, I would say, it still looks more vibrant than metal, but definitely not as vibrant as Thatch or Adobe. And if you want to check out those structures, you can check out my individual videos for each of the structures before I made this one in my mini series as well as my primary series. So yeah, that is it for this video on TEK. As you can see, let me give you a visual highlight of my other structures. So this was TEK. In my previous video I had covered metal. In the video before that I have covered greenhouse, and then it was, I think this is Adobe. Then actually it was this guy over here, which is Thatch. Then it was stone, and finally it was wood. As you can see, some of the earlier structures like wood, stone, especially Adobe, look really nice with colors. Adobe in particular has been significantly improved compared to ARK Survival Evolved, where in ARK Evolved Adobe colors, the colors when you apply it on Adobe structures just did not apply it fully. It was just like, it felt like someone has put some spray paint over the Adobe structure, but here the Adobe are fully colored, which makes it look really nice. So yeah, that is it for the entirety of my painting reference guide mini series. Please feel free to drop a like and subscribe if this helped you out in any way, or any of my other videos helped you out in any way. And well, there are a lot of more videos coming, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.